Are you stuck? How about unhappy? Join Alena Chapman, author, mentor, and life coach for Magical Moments with Alena, as she challenges you to get out of the doldrum and start living your life to the fullest. Alena will help you take control of your life and push you to do the things you never thought you'd do. So get ready to take back your power and celebrate life with Magical Moments featuring Alena Chapman.
Welcome to Magical Moments. And this is for that ease and betterment and flow, folks. That wonderful, wonderful feeling in life. That feeling of getting up and just knowing that the day is going to be with ease and flow through any challenges, through any difficulties. And that I'm headed for the rainbow. That's really, I say it, but do we really think it? And when you think that way, gosh, I get up every morning and I spread my arms and I say, I am open to the little miracles. I am open for the miracles. And do you know what? I get them. Today is an Ask Alena. And I have a question that one of you from the listening sent me. You know what? I am so amazed and I just love it. You guys, you're all listening and you're thinking and you're doing things to better your life. You're trying to get that ease and flow in your life. You're doing the strategic baby steps and you're sending me questions. I love it because that's why I did the show, right? That's why I do what I do. So when I get a really good question like this one, and I get a lot of them, this one is just one of the many that I pulled, I just dance on the rooftop. I really do. So this question is, how do I get my mind, body, and my spirit to align with my goals? Isn't that something? I love this. Now, I thought the best way to do this is to talk about the mind, the body, and the spirit, a little synopsis of what each one is. And for whoever wrote this question, when you hear this, you'll understand that you might not be at such incredible differences between the three. Although, the preconceived notions that you keep. We'll talk about that too. So, all right. So we want to get everything aligned, our mind, body, and spirit. First of all, let's talk about this. Body. Let's start with the body. The body is incredible. The body is what keeps us on this earth. Our body is our temple that houses our spirit, our beliefs, our dreams, us, that houses us. And it's what makes us be able to create here on this wonderful plane of the earth. All right, so the body has spirit. That's what omnipresent means. Energy. It has an inner knowing. It has that divine inner knowing. And it will let us know. It will give us signals. It will help us to understand the spirit world. And we call that intuition. That's when the inner self, the inner divine, starts to speak, but in ways that give us body signals, such as the stomach muscles tighten, or our shoulders start to, every time my shoulders start to creep up, to my head so I have no neck because of tension, I know that I'm at my limit. Right there, my body's telling me, Alena, slow down, hun. Slow down. This is too much right now. Go have fun. Go do something that you love. That's important. We have spiritual gifts. Everyone. These spiritual gifts are not just innate. These are general spiritual gifts that we just come with. And when we understand this, then the spiritual gifts which are our own come about more. And we understand why it's so important to evolve and get a better perception of life. because really perception is a gift. How we perceive things is like putting on a pair of glasses. And if we get the wrong glasses, our world turns topsy-turvy. We put on the right glasses, we can actually see what's going on and the clarity. We're always trying to get those right glasses on ourselves, right? Well, perception is that goal. It is that gift. And when we put on the right glasses, it becomes one of our biggest assets. So there are 6 gifts: perception, memory. Yeah, memory. What we remember. It's really funny. When we perceive differently, we get those right glasses on us, then all of a sudden our memory changes. Why? Well, because we had to deal with all the bad memory to even get the perception correctly. And then what you would see all of a sudden is that the good things that happened in our life become things that we remember more, because we already dealt with the stuff we didn't like. When I finally started dealing with the little girl that had to keep her mouth shut about her spirituality because nobody approved, and the priest, I told that story, the priest said I had an overactive imagination that needed to be tamed, right? And everything I had said, I didn't get any credibility on that. Everything that the angel told me, that was not true. And I could have just forsaken what the angel told me, believed the priest. And guess what would have happened? I would have lost the gift. I kept the gift, but the damage of not trusting anybody, feeling I had to keep secrets because nobody would understand, that was a detriment. When I dealt with that memory and I dealt with that little girl, and all of a sudden I could speak freely and I opened my heart, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay all of a sudden with being vulnerable. That changes my perception of life. That life is suddenly a safe place. Do you see how that works? So when we deal with those things from our childhood, it changes our perception. So memory becomes an asset then. And then another one. So we've got perception, we've got memory, we've got will. Will, that is our freedom to take action. Intuition, we just talked about that. Intuition is our body's signals. And when our perception changes, oh my gosh, the intuition, we become enlightened to it. And we've dealt with the memory, so the intuition all of a sudden is real. And it's not based on our beliefs, but it's based on what Spirit is saying. This is a good opportunity. This is not. It's not based on old beliefs that don't hold us anymore, that the world is not safe or that we can't be who we want to be. Understand? Okay, so we got intuition. Then we've got imagination. And when we start changing our perspective, we have the right glasses on, we've dealt with the memory, we now have good memory, we are acting, we're taking the steps, we feel brave enough to take the steps, and then we have the wonderful, I've got intuition reacting, then our imagination starts to just go to that wonderful creativity place. And then finally, reasoning. Now, why do I talk about this with the body? Because that's our physical place on this earth. And it is a place that our body will start to give us that intuition that is real. The mind and the body work very similarly together. Well, they all three do. But for most of us, it's the mind and the body in everyday life. So the body needs to be healthy. It needs to be happy. It needs to be gaining strength, not allowed to spiral down. And when we can get our body into a way that feels comfortable, and disease is one thing, and sickness, I understand that. And the first thing should be of healing. But for maintaining the body, feeding it things that it needs to grow, not to load up on sugars and stuff that gives us lack of energy. Because lack of energy, then the mind goes a little nutso, right? So understanding how important the body is in keeping it optimum, keeping the stress at a low to non-existence, using the gifts of the Spirit to guide you in your exercise, in your eating, in your perception of the world, all helps you to maintain a body that's healthy, a temple for our spiritual being to be able to live on this earth. It's really important. Now, so if we are in a job that gives us incredible amount of stress and we're not happy in that job, it's going to affect our bodies. You're going to get signs up to wazoo, but you mask them. We're not in line with our body. We're not listening. And thus we're not listening to Spirit, which is telling us through our body that this is not working for us, right? So body is extremely important because that is where everything is housed. So her question is excellent. Then the mind. The mind is the control center for everything. It is what releases all the chemicals. It also houses all the beliefs. And what's so funny, when we try to go for our goals or live our life, we switch into this funny mold in our way of thinking in our mind. We go into the logical, the acceptable, the practical. It's almost ego-driven. It's all old, based on all old experiences. My mom and dad, how did they live? And oh my gosh, and this is in America, I grew up and everybody was talking about the beautiful home with the white picket fence. Well, is that how every house has to look? I also grew up thinking you have to go to college. I didn't even know, it was possible not to go to college. That's how brainwashed I was in that. Was that bad or good? For me, it was good. But now that I've had children, I have one child that's not college bound. My brother wasn't college bound. How did he survive our family? It's very funny. So all our decisions in life, our mind pulls on those old experiences and those things we were taught. And then we get into our logical. We usually choose something that's easy to achieve that everybody in society approves of. That's efficient. And our body is saying, our intuition is going nuts, saying, this isn't right. This isn't right. Wait, this isn't what I want. And Spirit's going, wait a minute. That was a U-turn. Wait, that's not where we want to go. That's history. Wait, we needed to take the road less traveled. We needed to start making our own way. We needed to fulfill the missions. So our body, most of the time, in most people's lives, this is why this question is so important. Our mind, body, and spirit are not aligned. Now, let's just talk about spirit. Spirit, my gosh, spirit is everything. Because spirit is you. I just talked to Garrett Jones, and you'll hear his interview. And if you don't, listen to his interview. Because we were talking about this awakening or this feeling that you're here for a bigger reason. You really are. And when you come down here to this world, there's a reason why you come. And it's not like stuff like, okay, I'm going to be the president of the United States, or I'm going to be a secretary, or I'm going to be a veterinarian. It's not a profession. Everybody thinks their sole purpose is a profession, but it's not. Actually, when you come down and your soul's purpose is more of something that you are trying to either learn more about, It's mostly something that your soul needs to evolve. For instance, when I decided to discover my soul's purpose, which Hello Soul helped me do, which is a book, I actually that book's coming out in October, folks. That book is my journey. It's not telling you how. It gives you some samples, but really you can you can follow my sometimes wonderful, sometimes not, sometimes very funny journey with shamans and teachers, how I gained to live a life living by my soul, living by my true essence, my inner divine, not just doing it in meditation, but living it. And what I did was I brought spirit forward into my life, and not with dogmas, not with beliefs, but with the true mission of what my soul is here to do, and understanding how connected we are. This does a lot of things for you. When you alive in that spirit, all of a sudden, the old beliefs are not what's important, but the curiosity, the wonder, the fun, the passion. I got up every morning and I asked, what is fun? And I started tapping into the child in me. Because when we're children, our soul is in our life 24/7 until people tell us it's not where we should be. And all of a sudden, I started to do things that just make me happy and make others happy. I wrote books, stuff that brought freedom into people's lives, because freedom is one of the main things my soul wants to learn more about. A higher understanding of life itself is another one of the things my soul wants so badly. Here's the thing. Your soul will find a way. Your spirit will find a way, no matter what you do, to get what it needs to evolve. However, there are easy roads and there are hard roads. And when we open ourselves up to aligning the mind, body, and spirit, then we're allowing the spirit to call the shots and be creative and fun in our lives as a mother, as a father, as a person in our work. You can't escape it. If you bring it to life, really, that's what this whole mindset, everything. When you're reading the mindset books, it is opening up spirit inside of you, knowing that you can do it, that life is not supposed to be a drudgery, that you can do things and come alive in yourself and change the circumstances from there. When we come from the spiritual side of ourselves and we're changing and doing things that feed our spirit, our perception changes, which then changes our memory, which then changes our intuition, then changes our imagination. Get it? And we want to keep our body healthier. And then our mind starts changing, because all of a sudden we understand that we're not here to fit into a mold, that there is no, this is the way it's supposed to be. We're here for some bigger cause, something bigger than the mundaneness of acquiring things, that being only big materially, but instead living a life that is full. That's how you align. I really feel you have to do the things that open up your soul to you. And then all of a sudden, the practicalities and what you think is right. I mean, am I a practical person? I have to be. I've been a single mom for a very long time, so there is practicality in there, but it's based on the spirit versus on what other people tell me. And that's big. Yes, I'm practical, but I don't do things like my mom does. I don't do it like my neighbors do. I don't do it like the schools does. I teach in my own way for my boys. My boys go to school, but I've told you stories of how I've dealt with life-changing events with my boys. I've told you the differences in keeping them secure and happy feeling and trusting their decisions in life. I've done things differently. Why? Because I'm going more from the soul and spirit than my old beliefs of my mind. And instead, I use my mind to center into the now and be a conduit for my soul. And my body never, hardly ever gets that tension in the shoulders where I can't feel my neck. And if my stomach starts acting weird, I know that it's something real. I know there's something I have to look at because I know now it's alive with spirit. Do you see? That is how we start to live unified in our life. And I'm not saying we all have to jump into church. If that's your bag and you want to do that, that's good. Go for it. But what I'm saying is to start realizing you're in there. And you've got to meditate. You've got to walk in nature. You've got to ask yourself, who am I? And you're not the teacher. You're not the mom. You are this incredible being that's here for a reason. And it's bigger than just, and I know mom's a great thing. I am one, but it's even bigger than that. Okay? So, again, how do I get my mind, body, and my spirit to align with my goals? Well, start with that opening up to your spirit. And it doesn't mean if you're on a goal and you already are set on it and you've made it up in your mind, I bet what you're going to find when you awaken that spirit inside you even more and you start asking your soul's purpose, and I can help you with that, by the way. That is exactly what you're doing with whatever profession you picked. But this is the thing. Once you know the gifts, that goal that you're going for has more resolve, more focus, more understanding, and more of yourself in it. Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. I really, really like that question. So when you are looking at this, ask yourself, how can I unite these things from my spirit? How can I see my gifts changing, my perception, my will, my memory, my intuition, my reasoning? Yeah? Awesome. Now, guys, if you want help with this, I think people are thinking, oh, this inevitable you, what is this? And I think I need to, gosh, we're getting such incredible results with that. I do want to bring it forward because when you want to align yourself, what better way? Does it have to be in all seriousness? No, it can be fun. It can be invigorating. It can be insightful. It can be with friends. And that's what the inevitable you is. It's a way to start awakening that creativity, that spirit, aligning your mind with your body and your soul so that you are full of destination and purpose in your life. And it's fun. It really is fun. And that's inevitable you. It's and it's easy too. You get 13 lessons. A lot of people are funny. They listen to it. You get 2 lessons a week. They download on your email. And this is so fun. People have been telling me they listen to it in the morning and they listen to it at night. I didn't make that up. I was really surprised, actually. And they listen to it at night because they say, the people who do it say that it helps them to go to bed with this assurance. And they said that their dreams are really clear now. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I can believe it. You go to bed with something good instead of problems, and you start seeing possibilities, and you see information that opens your mind, yeah, you're going to have good dreams that bring you really good things, because that's where Spirit's talking to you. And the Spirit's saying, yes, this is good. You're changing your thoughts. So if you are interested in that inevitable you, yeah, take a look at soulmanifesto.com. Go to the products page. Go to the bottom. There it is, Inevitable You. Just give it a click. And on top of that, I think right now, if you go now, you will also get, I think it's 5 coachings with me. And that's group coachings that I'm going to be having on there. So this is a great deal. And this is not a plug. This is just a resource we have for you. And I think, it's time for people in this time to have resources. And my gosh, it's time to get enlightenment and awaken that spirit inside of us and start to really feel like, I got this. And why not do that with a little bit of fun and a lot of fun information? So check out Inevitable You if you're interested. And as always, remember, Spirit is love, not anything else. And the more you open to your soul, you find that everything is love. Every purpose that you have has a higher reason. And when you start acting on the higher reason and understand that everything has a higher reason, Spirit dances, because now it can be fully in your life. I love you all. Namaste, my friends. Namaste.
This has been Magical Moments with Alena, featuring Alena Chapman. If you missed an episode, download it now on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, CastBox, Deezer, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or your favorite podcast platform. Learn more online at soulmanifesto.com.
Podcasts by Federated Media.